Hi, my name is Mike Workman and I'm president of towdaddy, and I'm very pleased and excited to be able to introduce our two new products to you. The first is called Auto Fuse, and it's designed for those RVers who tow a car who need to have a fuse pulled while towing. Our product automatically disconnects the fuse and it trickle charges the battery. Our second product, called the Plug and Tow, is for those RVers who are new to towing and are going to be hooking up a car behind their RV for the first time. It essentially is a plug-and-play diode wiring kit that automatically wires the car without having to cut into the car's native wiring harness. And so without further ado, we're going to start off by talking a little bit more in detail about the Auto Fuse. Here we have a picture of an actual auto fuse. You can see the customer's fuse has actually been placed inside the weatherproof holder, and one can see the LED diode which illuminates when the auto fuse is functioning. It's important to realize that approximately 30% of towed vehicles require a fuse to be removed while towing. Customers uniformly dislike having to pull a fuse during towing. This usually involves either lifting the hood of the car or looking underneath the glove box to locate the fuse box. The fuse box cover then has to be removed, and a fuse remover has to be used to pull the proper fuse. The fuse has to be removed prior to towing and then replaced upon arrival at one's destination. It can be very difficult to remove the proper fuse because in addition to either lifting the hood or crawling underneath the glove box, one has to identify the proper fuse and then use a fuse puller to remove it. Unfortunately, there is an increasing number of new vehicles that require removal of a fuse during towing. Auto Fuse by towdaddy is the solution to their problem. The Auto Fuse automatically disconnects the fuse upon commencement of towing and reconnects it upon arrival at the destination. In addition, the Auto Fuse will trickle charge the battery. The Auto Fuse easily installs in most vehicles in less than 30 minutes. There are no fancy tools required. However, the customer must be familiar with 12-volt automotive wiring. One of the nice features of the Auto Fuse is that the customer's own fuse is used to protect the circuit. Currently, most automotive manufacturers use one of four common types of fuses. They are the Mini, the ATC, the J-Case, and the Maxi. towdaddy has developed four different models of Auto Fuse which accommodate all four fuse types. There are four Auto Fuse models that accommodate each of the four common types of automotive fuses: the Mini, ATC, J-Case, and Maxi. Each Auto Fuse has a different size fuse holder that accommodates the particular fuse that's being used on that car. All one does is take the customer's fuse, place it in the fuse holder, and snap down the weatherproof top. Here we have an Auto Fuse that fits a Mini fuse, and directly behind it we have a fuse box from a late model Chevy Malibu. I've already removed the offending fuse from the fuse box, and one just places it in the weatherproof holder and secures the cap. Then the wire with the fuse holder in it is placed into the hot terminal, and the purple wire goes into the remaining or the negative terminal. All that remains to be done now is to connect the brown and white wire to the corresponding ground wire and taillight wire on the dinghy wiring harness. The Auto Fuse is then mounted securely through using the hole in the back, and it's ready to go. Many late model cars require the removal of a fuse during towing. These include, but are not limited to, the Enclave, Cobalt, Equinox, HHR, Malibu, Traverse, Acadia, CRV, and many of the Saturns. If you have a question regarding whether or not a particular car requires an auto fuse, check the laminated application guide at the parts or service counter. Another good place to check is towdaddy.com. We try and maintain an updated application chart on the website. It's important to ask all customers buying either a tow bar or a supplemental brake system if they are required to pull a fuse while they tow. The next product we're very excited about here at TowDaddy to introduce to you is the Plug and Tow. Plug and Tow is basically a plug-and-play dinghy wiring kit. It replaces conventional bulb and socket kits and old-school individual diodes. It also includes a brake light relay for those customers who have a supplemental brake system, and it includes diagnostic LED lights that help both with installation and to ensure proper operation. Here's a picture of a typical plug and tow harness. It consists of two parts, the black control module and then the vehicle-specific wiring harness. Prior to the plug and tow kit, installation of diodes was very difficult and problematic for customers. Here is an actual taillight wiring harness that would normally connect into the taillight assembly of a vehicle. You can see that using conventional diodes, there are anywhere from 12 to 18 connections that have to be made. Okay, we've moved to actual test vehicle, which is a 2003 Lexus GS 470. We're actually going to demonstrate how diodes would be placed to wire the car. You can't see it from there, but the actual car's tail light is right here. And in most vehicles, there is a removable plate that gains access to the actual wiring harness. In order to connect a conventional diode kit, the installer has to hook these diodes up to the appropriate wires, which are buried underneath this fascial strip. This can be very difficult because in addition to putting 9 wires in on either side, both the right and the left side for the diodes, after installing the diodes on both the right and the left taillight, the installer has to run a 4 flat wire from the back of the car up to the front to allow the vehicle to be connected to the motorhome. Another way of wiring a dinghy vehicle is to use a bulb and socket kit. A bulb and socket kit is installed by going on the back side of the taillight assembly and literally drilling holes inside the reflector and then mounting the bulb in the same location where the car's native bulb is. This can be difficult to find the right location and oftentimes results in decreased illumination. When using the plug and tow kit, there is no need to drill into the taillight reflector and to add extra bulbs. Here we have a TowDaddy system. If you'll notice, there are 2 sets of connectors, one for the left taillight assembly and one for the right taillight assembly. These are vehicle-specific connectors for the vehicle that is being worked on. There is a control module which comes with all of the kits, which basically is inserted into this 18-pin master connector. The way one installs the TowDaddy kit, rather than putting in all the diodes, is to simply locate the connector to the tail lamp, connect this in line on both the right side and repeat it on the left side. At that point, the 20-foot cable, which goes up to the front of the car with a 4-flat connector, is already attached and installed. One merely runs this cable to the front bumper of the car. For any of the wiring systems, one needs to connect the 4-flat harness coming from the back of the car to the receptacle which is mounted on the front bumper. There are 2 types of receptacles, some that have 4 connections, as is shown here, and others that have 6. Occasionally a 7-pin connector will be used, but that's very unusual. Here's an example of a Jeep taillight in which the amber turn signal has not been connected. When using the towdaddy kit, the amber turn signal also operates. This is an important safety feature and can prevent rear-end collisions. When using a conventional diode kit, additional diodes must not only be purchased, but must be installed to enable the amber turn signal to work properly. Another very important feature of the towdaddy kit is that the brake light relay, which is used for those people that have a supplemental brake system, is not only included, but it's automatically installed. This can be a very difficult install in that many times a wire has to be run to the cold side of the brake pedal, which can oftentimes take an hour or more. Using the towdaddy kit, the relay is automatically installed, and it's installed in a position that makes it work 100% of the time. A major safety issue when using a supplemental brake system is that when the brake unit fires, the brake pedal is depressed in the towed vehicle, leaving the brake light on continually. In those vehicles that have a combined brake turn light, the turn signal no longer functions. This is both illegal and unsafe. The current solution to that problem is to install a brake light relay. A brake light relay corrects this situation. However, it can be a very difficult installation as it has to be connected way up underneath the dash. In addition to this, over 50 car models also require a brake pedal stop switch. This can be another problematic installation. When using the towdaddy system, neither the brake light relay nor the brake pedal stop switch need to be either purchased or installed because they're included in the master module. This not only saves the cost of buying both the brake light relay and the brake light stop switch, but neither of these parts have to be installed. It's important to tell those customers that don't have a supplemental brake system that by going with the towdaddy kit, their car is in essence pre-wired and ready to go when they do choose to buy a supplemental brake system. Currently, over 30 states and all of Canada require a supplemental brake system. This means that most customers will require a supplemental brake system in order to maintain a legal towed vehicle. We know that a majority of customers will choose to have the dealer install their wiring kit. For those who choose to do it themselves, the towdaddy kit has light-emitting diodes that aid proper installation and confirm operation. We currently have vehicle-specific kits that have the OEM connectors for approximately 75% of the most commonly towed vehicles. If you have a question regarding a specific vehicle, the parts department should have a towdaddy laminated application chart which will show not only the vehicles that have kits available, but has the corresponding Camping World SKU number. The other way to determine the proper harness is to check the Roadmaster bracket spreadsheet in the Camping World computer, which has the corresponding towdaddy part number. For those vehicles that are not on the application chart, towdaddy offers a universal kit, which is applicable for virtually every automobile. The part number is listed on the bottom of the application chart. The universal kit has no OEM connectors, but in most cases only takes an additional 5 minutes to install. In summary, towdaddy's new plug-and-tow is an all-inclusive dinghy wiring kit that not only wires the amber turn signal in those cars that have the separate brake and turn, but it includes a brake light relay for those customers who either have a supplemental brake system or may be getting one in the future. For those do-it-yourself types, the towdaddy system is much easier to install because it uses LED diodes to help confirm proper installation. Thank you for taking time to learn about our products. If you have any more questions, feel free to check out the website at www.towdaddy.com or to give us a call. We look forward to helping simplify our customers' towing experience.